Hi, everyone, and welcome to the inaugural episode of Super Roper Bros.
The first one.
The very, very first one.
So for those of you who get to tune in now, you get to say that you was there when it started.
Yes, on the ground floor.
All right, so we expect you to like, share, subscribe.
You probably ain't gonna do it. I want
They'll
you
do
to.
it. I believe in them. I believe that you are hitting that button right now.
I want
feel
them
it
to.
in my spirit that you are hitting that button right now.
We'll see.
What do we have here?
Like the Top Gun anthem. If you listen, when that first gong hits,
when it first comes on, and and we start hearing like the snare.
Here we go. In 3, 2, 1.
When I heard about Top Gun Maverick, was supposed to come out 2 years ago.
Yeah, but then the pandemic happened.
What?
Yes.
But it was supposed to come out sooner, but Tom Cruise, being the person that he is in Hollywood, refused to do that.
Yes, and we get it, man. Look, I know people have their dubious feelings about Tom Cruise as far as him as a person, but the man brings it to the cinema.
Brought it.
Whatever you say about him, as far as he's weird. He's the Scientology. He kind of got that. Whatever. At the cinema, the dude is solid. I mean, I can't. Other than The Mummy that came out a few years ago.
Ooh.
Yeah, let's not talk about. Yeah, we turned that on for free, and it was terrible.
Rest in peace.
I still paid with my time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was horrible. But
Top Gun Maverick is starring Tom Cruise. It's Miles Teller, Jennifer Connelly. It's got Ed Harris in there. What's his name? John Hamm.
John Hamm is the basically the foreboding commander.
Yeah. Characters brought back from a franchise from 30 years ago. Now here's the thing.
I was very dubious when I first heard this was coming out, because you know what happens when you find out about an old IP that's being brought back into the present, and they're gonna do something with it.
Character assassination.
Oh yeah, they're going to probably take your favorite character and throw them off a cliff in favor of a younger generation that's there to take up the mantle, and and your old heroes are just old now. They're being old while being old, and they're old.
Stop it!
Because you're old.
Stop it!
Yeah, that's
so
what usually happens.
If you guys know what we're talking about, we can give you a list of examples. So here's what the basic synopsis of the film is. We basically come to and see Captain Pete Mitchell, played by Tom Cruise, 30 years after the fact, where he thought he wanted to be an instructor.
30 plus years of service. Combat medals, citations. Only man to shoot down 3 enemy planes in the last 40 years. Yet you can't get a promotion, you won't retire. Despite your best efforts, you refuse to die.
We find out later on that he only lasted for 2 months.
Yeah.
2 months as an instructor at Top Gun before he got kicked out.
You should be at least a 2-star admiral by now. Yet here you are. Captain. What is that?
It's one of life's mysteries, sir.
Now, 30 years have passed and the man's still a captain.
Yeah, which is insane in the military.
It's absolutely insane.
That's full career, and you are literally at the like what third to the bottom officer that you can be. Yeah, that's not.
Because he just wants to fly. The man just wants to fly. He just wants to be an aviator. That's what his life is about. I don't want to give you guys too much right now because we're still trying to be kind of spoiler free.
Yeah,
but
we'll let you know in the time when it's going to be spoiled.
When you're supposed to turn this off because we don't want to spoil this. This movie is worth seeing. It's only in the theater right now, and I really am happy that is the fact. There are so many movies that came out with these 30-year sequels that nobody asked for, nobody wanted.
Inspirationless, rudderless, just made to be some mess.
What's going on?
Missed. Missed again.
Okay, like when you've got people bringing back, like, you know what would make the Predator good? Let's make the Predator biggerer and badderer. A biggerer and badderer Predator.
Yeah, I know y'all wrong for that one, right?
Yeah.
If one of you who is involved with watching that movie is watching this review right now, you're wrong for that one.
I just can't believe somebody was like, hey, let's pay money for this and then send it out for people to see. But, you know,
Michael Jackson made a song about it. They don't care about us.
And that is the opposite of what Top Gun Maverick is. Top Gun Maverick literally gives you the film. It gives you the film that the fans wanted, and not just the fans. It paid respect to the original without condescending to the audience, without making us feel like we were bad because, you know, now is a different age than it was. It doesn't
absolutely
murder the character. Maverick is who he was in 1986. However, he has matured a bit, as in it's like Moses, you know? Like being called to do something you don't necessarily want to do.
What that is, I can't imagine.
With all due respect, sir, I'm not a teacher. Just want to manage expectations.
What the hell?
Good morning, aviators.
So it's like the different part of the hero's journey. Because Maverick is a hero. Like, you know, the first movie and all that stuff had to learn to overcome some things, you know, little words for wear. You know, and some friends become enemies and others become friends.
Narrative, beginning, middle, and end. Some friends become enemies, some enemies become friends. Yeah? At the end, your main character is richer for the experience. Yeah? Yeah?
Yeah. But yeah, that sort of like the dynamic, the change, the him being thrown into something that Maverick never was before, but we get to see him like take that like devil may care attitude and help actually advance the storyline, and it's great. I thought everybody in the movie did a solid job. There's no character in the movie that I'm like, oh, I would toss them out a window.
So don't go see this in the run-of-the-mill like your average theater.
Yeah.
They broke their foot off into the special effects, into the special effects.
Oh yeah, like I mean, usually in film, like, you know, this is the least of my concerns when I'm watching movies. I don't care about your effects, okay? I remember Van Helsing. It had a lot of effect shots and it was terrible. Terrible.
You're wrong for that.
But so the effects usually don't bother me, they don't make any difference to me. But the real reason why this movie works so well is because they use real world effects and the actors are reacting to real things.
You mean like real G-forces on your face? So when they're in that cockpit, you can see their faces shifting as they're in the G's. It is a very real, like, it feels real. It feels like you're in there with them.
And what I love about the fact that the special effects are so great is that the special effects are in service of the story, not the other way around. When you make a movie, the effect shots shouldn't be what you start with. It's almost like people go see movies because we want to see the humans interact with each other.
So let's talk about, let's move on with the next thing. So what about the character development and the characters that are in the film itself? What do you think about, besides, Pete Mitchell, which is the main, protagonist of the story, what do you think about Miles Teller playing Rooster?
First of all, Miles Teller is a shout out to a phenomenal actor. But I thought that the characters in the film, the characters overall, the people in the story, everybody. I mean, it kind of works. I mean, it's like when you're at a good restaurant and you have a really good dish in front of you, and it's just like the dish is just hitting, and you don't know exactly what's hitting because all of it is just delicious, And that's what I felt when I watched this whole movie. It was really good. I thought Miles Teller brought a youthful energy and that type of zeal, and his character is different.
My dad believed in you. I'm not gonna make the same mistake.
And I don't care how tough you are, who you think you are, there's gonna be times in this movie you stop breathing. You're gonna be concerned.
Yes.
You're gonna be concerned for the people.
Yeah, my wife was like, she wouldn't let go of I thought like she was squeezing my hand so hard. She doesn't like, you don't act like this when we're watching a scary movie, but it's got tense.
Top Gun, the original Top Gun, should have kicked off World War III. There's no way that you don't see ICBMs launching in the background at the end of that film. There's no way. There's no way that doesn't happen.
I mean, back then you knew exactly who the bad guy was.
They're
flying MiGs with red stars.
But we don't know exactly who the enemy is in this film. Yeah. We just know that it's
the enemy.
The enemy.
Which I kind of love. And I mean, there are, like, if we can get into spoilers, we're getting into spoilers now. Just a little bit.
Okay, spoilers.
Spoilers. If you haven't watched the movie, go watch the movie and come back.
Spoilers.
All right? If you haven't done it yet, this was your warning with my terrible accent.
You said spoilers.
Yeah, spoilers.
All right.
So, now that that's all been said, basically, we've got a Death Star trench run.
The plans provided by Princess Leia has demonstrated a weakness in the battle station. The approach will not be easy. You're required to maneuver straight down this trench and skim the surface to this point.
That is what it is. And I'm totally okay with it.
That's exactly what's happening here. And I'm telling you, it totally works. It works because the characters deal with the stress of the situation differently. You find there's a bunch of tension going on between Rooster and Maverick. You're not exactly sure why. You think you know why in the beginning just because of the history with Maverick and Goose, but you find out later on there's a little bit more that's going on in there.
Yeah.
And so the tension that's going on between them is incredible. The characters, there's one character in there who, we're already in spoiler territory. He is Maverick. He is Maverick. A younger Maverick again, and if you watch the first film, you'll be able to spot it in what he does.
I honestly didn't get it until you told me this after the movie, but you were 100% right. That character is from the cocky smile that he
that grin.
That grin the whole time.
Now we're in spoiler territory. We're talking about Hangman, by the way. Watch that film and see if Hangman isn't Lieutenant Pete Mitchell again.
Yes, as a young person.
As a young person. And I tell you what, if you watch the old film and you appreciate it, he's going to get on your nerves. You're going to be so angry at this dude. You're going to be like, dude, why won't you play along? Not knowing that you have matured along the way.
That is a very true, and it's very subtle the way that they put it in there, because he really is a jerk to all the people around him. He's not a good guy to have on your wing and all this stuff, but he literally is. I mean, didn't he also have the kills He also had like 2 kills somehow.
You know what? I don't like you because you're dangerous.
Yeah.
Like, that's right.
Literally the same thing. The same thing.
The film happens, and they keep setting up the entire film that somebody's not coming home from this. Somebody's not coming home from this.
They basically set up to, and it's brilliant because it almost uses Hollywood against it. What they're doing is they're setting up the fact that every one of these movies has our heroes die. Did you love you some Luke Skywalker? Did you love you some Luke Skywalker? Because he's gonna die in a dumb, pointless way for no reason. I thought the soundtrack, they did a really good job. They kept it, like, the music isn't as nearly as poignant as the 80s movie has, like, I mean, it's the 80s. I mean, there's no way you can get somebody to sing the stuff that's in the first movie with the same emotional force that is in today's music.
Kenny Loggins meant Danger Zone. He meant that. He meant Playing with the Boys. He meant that. Mighty Wings by Cheap Trick. My goodness, what a great song from the first one. So let's talk about, we've talked about all this, like the dogfights themselves.
I thought that the dogfights, I thought they were great. Like, you could follow them. The layperson could follow them. It wasn't like, there's some scenes in the original Top Gun where, I mean, it's 1986. You got to lose a lot of cuts. There's some miniatures in there. It's fine. But, like, there's a lot of stuff where you can't really follow quite what's going on. There's a lot of, oh, he's behind me now. It's like, okay. This one, like, they do a lot to, like, show you what the planes are doing. I think the dogfighting is superior to the original. And honestly, if I have to be, I will say this film is superior to the original.
Now, that's a bold statement. But I agree. Top Gun Maverick is, I think, a superior film. I think it is a better film than the first one. It is easier to follow.
Yeah.
There's a scene where they pan back and they show just how many rockets and planes are on, like, in the dogfight at the time. And I remember just going like, sweet Lord, like, there's no way that somebody's not gonna, like, make it out of this. And we were right. we were right a couple times.
I mean, there's some great stuff. And even the stuff in the movie that's, like, a little bit ridiculous. Like, do you know how ridiculous it is, spoilers, how ridiculous it is to steal a jet from the enemy on a bombed out runway? Hey, but you know what? Who cares? Because you set up the character story for your movie, and now I'm willing to let you get away with some hokey stuff.
And I love how Maverick and Rooster, when they gel together at the end of the film, the way that they bounce off of each other, and you can see Tom being in his instructor role, being in his more mature role. You can see him come full circle. He's trying to do everything he can to make sure that this kid that he feels responsible for lives through to the end of it all. Amazing. The payoff at the end of the film, what do you think about how do you feel about at the end of it all?
I think that they did a fantastic job with respecting the character, but giving him kind of the ending he deserved.
The conclusion of the film, the end of the film, I like that the hero's reward is not tainted, it's not lost. I love how they get closure in what they're trying to do. I even love Rooster, Talk to Me, Dad.
We can't recommend this film highly enough, but this is what happens, Hollywood, when you make films for the fans and you don't condescend to us or try to make our 1980s classic movie about some modern social justice nonsense that we don't want today. I get it. Look, as a person who's very socially conscious, you might have noticed, I'm black, dark.
I like thick molasses.
Indeed. But here's what I am very socially conscious. I don't need that in every movie, doggone it. But every movie ain't got to be about that.
What's his name? Who played Bob? It's Bill Pullman's son. I can't remember his name.
Is he really Bill Pullman's son?
Listen, he better be. But Bob, I was so concerned for Bob.
He really is the type of character who usually gets background assassinated.
Yeah, I was like, Bob. I told my wife first time we saw Bob ain't gonna make it. I said, Bob ain't gonna make it. He ain't got no call sign. Man. Bob ain't gonna make it.
Totally.
This is a wholesome family movie that anyone can go and see. Take Two, like you will enjoy. And you don't even have to have seen the original Top Gun to enjoy this one. It is great. I can't recommend it high enough. So we're going to give this movie a rating,
what do you think?
Let's say, on a scale of 1 to 5, we're going to give this 5.
5. I'd say
Inverted.
Yeah, 5 inverted Mavericks.
Inverted Mavericks.
Yes.
5. We're going to get this 5 out of 5 inverted Maverick. Great balls of fire.
Now that was the most unbelievable scene in the movie.
Yeah. Now tell me this: how do all these 20-year-olds know all the words? They know every word of Great Balls of Fire. He lies. He lies. So in closing,
yeah,
Top Gun Maverick, recommended highly. Please go take your family. Support this film in the theater.
Go pay money, pay dollars for things that are what you want to see. Otherwise, the things you don't want to see are going to keep getting made. Yeah.
Those of you watching right now are going to decide what our next film review is going to be. So if you didn't put in on this, I don't hear you guys didn't do that. You didn't talk about this. You didn't talk about that. Yeah. Hey, listen, you guys are going to decide. The Super Roper Brothers review is for you. It's for you, the people.
I don't know what you're talking about. It's 100% for me. I'm selfish. I'm a monster. I hope you guys enjoy this and like this, but we do this because we like it.
Yeah, we would do this for free.
That's true. We do it anyway.
So those of you who support right now, we really do truly appreciate you. Once again, if you didn't like, share, subscribe, please do that. In closing,
I'm Brandon Roper.
I am Otis Roper.
And this has been the Super Roper Bros inaugural episode.
#1. Thank you very much. Love you all. God bless. Y'all take care. Golden Movies.